The night when Mama get through cooking supper, they would go to the room, her and Dad we didn't have a living room, big old bedroom with like in winter the fires burning. And at the supper, Daddy would get me on one knee and me on the other knee, because we were the singers. He was a alto. I could sing all of it. And we would sing. We were good, too, because the Carters were back then, That was the best thing that was out in the country. And so anyway, that was the way my life was. My cousin come over at night, lamps, no electric light. They'd come over and we'd talk. And I look back, what in God's name did we talk about?
Oh, yeah.
But because I'm never boy crazy.
So is that when you met? That's when you met Virgil?
Well, a little later.
Yeah.
Lottie, my sister, lived over across town, but it was the least populated. It's nothing like today.
Yeah.
But something like Norwood here.
Okay.
Like maybe, I lived here, and she lived way over there like Brentwood. Well, all right, it was a Sunday, so we walked a lot. I had no cars or nothing. So us girls, we walked to the cemetery a lot. That was all the way across town on the east side. Just picture it was the town big as Norwood.
Right.
And we'd go to the cemetery where our grandmother was buried, and we'd clean it off and do things,
Aw.
And that's how safe it was.
Yeah.
Then we'd go back over, and we knew a lot of people. We talked to a lot of the friends, and have a lot of boys, but holler at us or whatever. But anyway, Virgil was over there seeing the Lottie's, seeing Ruby Chambers and Lillian Chambers. And Virgil smitten with me. So we stayed there at Lottie's, but we didn't bother those girls.
Yeah.
But naturally, when there was boys around Margaret, she was really flirting.
You didn't do that, Grandma?
Honey.
No.
I wanted to go to school.
Oh, good for you.
I'm not trying to be perfect. That was me.
Yeah. School was very important to you.
I had a great desire. I knew what I wanted in life, but if I'd waited another year. But see, here's what happened. So, of course, whenever we went over there and while they all wanted to get out and play Red Rover, let's all come over. Y'all ever play?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. Virgil, he was in the other line across from her. He said, Red Rover, let Blondie come over. That was me.
Blondie?
I was blonde.
So he used to call you Blondie? Aww.
So, everybody did.
That's cute.
I remember going in one of the stores. We were well known there. It was a small town. I was been there 7 years. Not say did my growing up there. I walked to the store and was buying some shoes with my mama, and one of the men, put his head on my head, Now they'd get arrested.
Yeah.
I didn't take nothing about it because that's the way the world was.
Yeah, he didn't mean anything by it.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, it's very innocent, I'm sure.
So a young girl, pretty blonde, and so he put his hand there and he thought she was pretty. My mother was with me. So anyway, we played out there, and so it was time for us to go home. Well, Dewey, Bloodworth, I liked him. Margaret was with him. Well, okay, we all went. Nobody was anybody. Virgil, in fact, was mostly with Lucy. I wasn't with now one of them. In a sense. Dewey and his brother, I can't remember his name, and Virgil, I think 3 boys and us 3 girls, and we walked clean across town talking. And Virgil went on with Lucy because she lived behind us on another street.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed at my house. They all went on over there. And so I went on in my house and everything. And just talking with Mama and all. But you know it, that was all them boys at my step, Dewey and Virgil.
Mm-hmm.
Or Dewey might have stayed there, and I was sitting on the step with him.
How old were you?
I was 17 when I met him.
Wow.
Well, I was 17, that was in November when I met him. And I would have been 18 in March of the next year.
Okay.
So, we sat down the steps talking, and Virgil come up and on. Virgil sat down there, and they didn't want to go. But I knew my limit. And so, they finally got up and left. You know, and I don't remember making no dating or nothing. Just said, we'll see you. And I think Virgil made date with Lucy. That's how I come, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked Dewey, but for some reason, and Dewey had made a date with Margaret, and so they told me later. I said, we did that so we could come be with you.
Oh.
Honest, that happened.
Wow. And then you married him.
Well, I was never boy crazy. I wanted to go to school. Mama had stopped me in the night. Wasn't no reason to do that. My sister May didn't marry a traveling man that hadn't had any education. But they go around, he